I was called by one of the caregivers. She saw this wound and she didn't know what to do. It was already 4 p.m. and I had to go to another client. I was thinking, oh, don't ask me any questions. Just let me treat the wound and let me go out. You close the door, literally in their face. I was back in my car and I was thinking, what am I doing? This is not nursing. For me, that was a turning point. I had to quit my job there.
Before I became a nurse, I studied economics. So I said, why are we doing this way? We called it buurtzorg because we had to focus on neighborhoods, and buurt means neighborhood.
It's going back to the principle that a community nurse is taking care of the community. We want to focus on our clients, so the less we can spend on the administrative tasks, the better.
They advised me to move over to G Suite. The G Suite really helps in our way of practicing our principles, spend the time on the necessary things, on taking care of the patients on one hand, and also developing new knowledge on the other hand.
You can easily share documents. We share screens so we can see what we are doing. This freedom brings up the best way of working. So you really can take time. You have to take time to invest in your client, to have a coffee once in a while and to talk with each other and to build up a relationship. Within buurtzorg, we think keep it as simple as possible, and that's what G Suite is also doing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Google Cloud's Global Digital Conference. Make it work, collaborate, innovate, and transform. Thank you for joining us today. My name is David Thacker, and I lead product and design for G Suite. Today, I'm excited to share the progress we've made over the past year towards our mission of helping businesses transform the way they work. And later, I'll be joined on stage by Mark Stewart from Baird Warner, a leading real estate services company from Chicago. Following the keynote, we will have a number of sessions that will deep dive into various topics and give you more visibility in the problems we're solving. At any time during our live session, you can ask questions, and Googlers are standing by to try to answer them. You can chat and view the discussion just below the watch window of each session. This is also where you can reach support for any technical issues you may be having. Now let's get started. To start, let's talk about why transformation is important. Many customers move to G Suite because they feel a need to change to stay competitive. We see changing markets with new competitors and business models threatening your status quo. We see technology changing with companies having access to unprecedented amounts of data that could give your business an edge. And we see changes in your customers' needs and expectations. 80% of customers now consider the experience they have with the business to be just as important as the product or service itself. Because of these factors, businesses need to be able to adapt in order to continue to innovate and succeed. But the tools your organization is using can be a major obstacle to transformation. Legacy tools preserve the status quo of people working individually on their desktop, emailing file versions back and forth, storing data in silos. We're spending too much time on repetitive, mundane tasks rather than the work they were actually hired to do. Not only is this way of work inefficient, it can be frustrating for employees, leading to a disengaged workforce. So how can you set your business up to successfully evolve? We think transformation starts with real change, which is where G Suite can help. G Suite includes products that over 1.5 billion people use, like Gmail, Docs, Sheets, and Drive, as well as our enterprise messaging and video conferencing tools, Chat and Meet. G Suite also empowers over 90 million students and educators to learn and innovate together. These are the workers of tomorrow who are expecting to be able to work and easily collaborate in the cloud. And we've now reached over 5 million business customers with more than 1 million added in the past year alone. These include industry disruptors and digital natives like Spotify and Netflix, who have long relied on G Suite to help them rapidly innovate, disrupt markets, and stay ahead of trends and customer needs. And more recently, visionary, long-standing market leaders like Verizon, Colgate, and Fast Retailing have moved to G Suite to invest in their people and set their businesses up for future success. These businesses are moving to G Suite to fully transform not only their culture, but positively impact their business. According to a recent Forrester Total Economic Impact study, customers moving to G Suite saw efficiency improvements equivalent to saving each employee 21 workdays out of the year. And in security, companies reduced the risk of a data breach by over 95%, for a total ROI of over 300% for G Suite. So how does G Suite actually deliver this value in a new and compelling way? By helping teams work faster, smarter, and more collaboratively. Faster, because improved speed helps you turn your ideas into products and solutions. Smarter, because you need to be able to harness your company data to make better business decisions. And together, because a truly collaborative culture is the backbone of any successful business. Now let's take a look at each of these in detail. First, fast. Whether it's responding to a customer request, getting a product to market, or solving a technical problem, being agile is core to your ability to compete and have an impact. With true real-time collaboration that's built for the cloud, teams can work in parallel to move faster than ever before. In G Suite, over 76% of the time spent in docs, sheets, and slides is collaborative work, meaning multiple people working together at the same time. There's only one version of a document, which greatly reduces the complexity and speeds up collaboration. People no longer waste time waiting for the right version of a file to be sent over email, and as you can see here, teams can create together quickly in real time to reach consensus and make decisions. Another core benefit that businesses get with G Suite is that people have better access to files, knowledge, and insights. Teams that harness the power of their organization's data make confident, well-informed decisions that drive greater business impact. For example, data analysis. Most users in an organization are not comfortable in spreadsheets and wouldn't be able to recall all the formulas available to them. On top of that, there's the element of human error. Accidentally typing 22 instead of 33, and suddenly your formula is returning a wrong result used for a business decision. But your productivity tool can make your people smarter. Natural language processing means anyone in your company, from the most sophisticated data scientist to the person who hates numbers, can do analysis and get answers because they just ask the question in normal language, like shown here. Last, let's talk about collaboration. We believe that a truly collaborative culture brings out the best possible ideas, and that's the cornerstone of success. In G Suite, working together across time zones and offices is easy and intuitive, whether it's face-to-face meetings through Hangouts Meet or sharing content in a team room and chat. People actually adopt new ways of working together, as opposed to legacy office tools where people continue to work individually on their desktop. G Suite can help break down the departmental barriers within a company so that people can share relevant information and connect with other people they didn't have access to before. And we, Google, want to be very clear about our commitments to you. You, our customers, own your data, not Google. Google does not use G Suite data for advertising. Google does not sell your G Suite data to third parties. And our practices are audited against international standards like ISO 27001 and ISO 27017. Shortly, we will be joined by a very special customer. But before bringing them on stage, I'd like to share a few examples of customers who have made it smart, fast, and together. First, fast. Using G Suite, global retailer Gantt was able to coordinate a single vision across multiple global teams to open their flagship store in just 3 months, a process that historically took over a year. Next, smart. As a 200-year-old global company, Colgate-Palmolive has to constantly innovate with new products to keep up with a fast-changing landscape for consumer packaged goods. They've credited G Suite with helping to improve their product quality and time to market. A key part of this is being smart use of insights and data. Last, together. Salesforce has long used G Suite to keep a leadership position in the CRM market. Their corporate communication team works with presenters on messaging and content for the company's many global events, breaking down the barrier between internal and external partners. I'll now be calling on our special guest, Mark Stewart from Baird Warner, to talk about how they've been able to reimagine the way they work with G Suite. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm here with Mark Stewart from Baird Warner, one of our G Suite customers. Mark, can you tell us a little bit about Baird Warner and maybe what your role is there?
Sure. Baird Warner is a real estate service company based in Chicago. We have about 3,000 people across 3 business lines, residential brokerage, mortgage, and title insurance. We're the oldest real estate company in the nation, and being that, we've had to continuously innovate and adapt to thrive for over 164 years. My role as Vice President of Technology is to oversee all of our IT department. So all of the boring stuff, keep the lights blinking and no smoke coming out of the machines kind of stuff. But I also have a key role in helping to guide strategic software investments to make life easier and better for our customers.
Great. And so why did Baird Warner move to G Suite? What opportunities did you see?
We were in a situation where we were running an aging hybrid messaging system. We were using 2 different mail server products to try and cover the entire company. We had poor collaboration tools. Managing document versions was a nightmare. Secure file storage for ad hoc teams required IT intervention. So we were at a point where we couldn't even increase mailbox storage without giving up our ability to back up daily. So our web access to email wasn't full featured. Frankly, you looked at everything, looking back, it was a mess.
And so, as a leader at your company and as executive there, how did you lead the organization in adopting these new collaboration tools?
It was a real interesting conversation, first with our executive team to get buy-in to going to G Suite and using a cloud product. But what was really critical to our successful deployment was working with an experienced partner. How we started out was with the guidance of our partner. We found the key employees who already use G Suite products like Gmail in their personal lives. And we took that group of users and made them our Google Guides. We provided them with additional product training before the general population, and their peers could identify them as a ready resource during the transition. It really helped calm the anxieties.
Great. And can you tell me a little bit more about what that interaction looked like between you and your deployment partner?
Oh, yeah. They came in and helped us build a proof of concept. And very importantly to us, they handled all of the technical setup for the actual message migration off of our legacy products and into G Suite, so that we could get all of our messages, all of our calendar. And we didn't initially migrate documents, but they did all the things that you do one time in a transition like that, that we don't have any value in getting internal expertise in that.
Yeah, these partners are really experts at those migrations.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you train your users on the new G Suite functionality?
Well, in addition to having our Google Guides, we created a learning portal using Google Sites. That helped guide users step by step through common tasks they do in Office and how they would translate to doing those in G Suite. We also held webinars prior to the switchover that prepared users on what to expect. And it also allowed us to provide additional messaging on why we were going to G Suite. We also didn't try and bite it all off at one time. We focused on Gmail, calendar, and contacts, because those were the key features everybody used every day in our old environment. And then we introduced docs and sheets and slides at a later time. We still keep a few licenses around for a very small percentage of folks who still need Microsoft Office, but it's greatly minimized our costs. And a big part of that cost savings is we no longer pay for software assurance on Office.
And so, one of the benefits of G Suite is it's an open platform, and you can easily integrate with third-party tools. So can you tell us a little bit about how you've used G Suite to integrate with some of the third-party tools that you use?
Sure. We have a couple of tools that we use a lot that are integrated with G Suite. And G Suite makes the integration really, really easy. One of those tools is Rike, a project management system. We adopted that not long after we transitioned to G Suite. And it allows us to directly embed docs, for example, without having to check out a version or upload it or whatever. We just put the live document right in the project. Some of the stuff probably sounds super simple to people, but it was revolutionary at the time. It greatly improves our collaboration, and people really learn quickly the advantages of using docs and sheets versus Word and Excel. Another one that we have integration with is DocuSign, which is the biggest e-signature product out there now. G Suite's allowed us to help realtors streamline their flow of signing contracts rather than creating a paper trail, sending documents back and forth by email or courier or fax or whatever. We integrate DocuSign with Drive, and they can take documents right from there, prepare them, get them signed, keep them stored securely. It's great.
That is great. So, how have the collaborative aspects of G Suite impacted your workers at your headquarters, who have historically been working in silos, I imagine? Mm-hmm. Have you seen a shift in the work culture?
Well, since even before we went to G Suite, at Baird Warner, we've had a company-wide initiative to improve transparency and remove silos between departments and organizations. Real-time document collaboration and improved version control has made our workers' lives immeasurably easier. And the habit of collaborating using G Suite has helped us foster a more open and collaborative environment between departments and businesses, and it's aided us in transforming into more effective multidisciplinary teams. One example is we use docs to co-author project briefs and project plans, and we put together our project management organization because we have so many different initiatives that we're running at the same time. Not only do we not want to step on each other's toes or create unnecessary conflicts of resources that we might share, but we want to take full advantage of every project that's going on to make sure it benefits the entire organization.
Great. And what about your realtors and your agents in the field? How many are there, and how has G Suite helped them deliver a better experience for their clients?
Currently in the field, we have almost 2,500 realtors serving the greater Chicago area. G Suite enables our realtors to stay connected without having to come into the office, which is a big part of how the real estate business works these days. It's a highly mobile business, and they work from home, they work from Starbucks, they work from the office, they work from the kids' ball game or soccer game or any of these things. It allows them to spend more time with their clients and run their businesses from their phones instead of driving around town with a trunk full of real estate files and going, oh, I got to run because I have to run across town to the fax machine. You can just do it right from your phone. And And messaging back and forth with other realtors in their office is also a snap. They can do everything in G Suite where we have proper administrative controls and don't have to worry about users choosing ad hoc consumer messaging platforms. Excuse me. Another one that we've been really pushing on recently, I'd say for the last year and a half, is Hangouts Meet. It's really, really popular. We have more and more video meetings now than we ever had before. And it's really minimized the use of third-party tools and third-party conferencing solutions.
Great. And so change is accelerating across all industries, including the real estate industry. How has G Suite allowed you to innovate and adapt to a changing market, in terms of new competitors or new technology entering the market?
I'd say G Suite's foundational to our ability to adapt and to changes. It allows us to adopt new tools wherever they're needed. It's the core of our identity. We use it like a lot of other organizations use Active Directory. One of our, we call it table stakes for people is when we're looking at a new tool is, does it support OAuth so we can do single sign-on using G Suite? One trend we've seen over the years, specific to our industry, is a really increasing threat of phishing attacks aimed at wire fraud, and they target realtors. That's a huge risk to us and to them, and can cost everyone millions of dollars. You know, a single transaction could be several $100,000 easily. One of the things we did to combat that, along with user education, was we deployed two-factor authentication in G Suite, which makes phishing much, much harder, as you know. Since we've adopted two-factor, we've had 0 account hijackings. I kind of hesitate to say that in public, but lest we become a bigger target, but it's really that effective. And what's important is it not only keeps our data safe, but the data of our clients is kept safe.
Yeah, security is paramount these days. So as an IT leader, what has G Suite meant for your team?
Well, for my team does things that very differently today than we did before G Suite. We don't have to manage the servers anymore. We don't need to manage and patch desktop applications. It saved me at least one full-time equivalent, if not more. And we run a pretty lean IT organization. I've got almost 3,000 users. I've got 8 people in IT. So one is very significant to me. It's much easier for my help desk to manage. That gets the service done faster. It gets it done with people who don't need as much specialized knowledge because G Suite is so much easier to administer. And it allows me to redeploy those messaging admins to my security team where they add much higher value to our organization. I think Google was the leader in providing user-friendly two-factor authentication. There's been other two-factor authentication that predates it, what Google does, but I look around and see they may not be using Google's tools, but so many of the leading solutions now use Google's methods, which is very important, I think. And the other thing that it did was it made our mobile device security much better, mobile device management. We can rapidly and easily wipe a device if we need to. In fact, we recently had an incident where one of our employees was out of the country and had their phone stolen. And within a few minutes of being notified about it, we were able to wipe the device and deactivate it.
That's great. And so with your teams no longer managing servers and supporting all these on-premise systems, what new strategic projects are you able to take on?
Probably the most important one for our business is we have a couple of key vertical software applications. They're very industry specific, and you're kind of at the mercy of those vendors for what kind of support you're going to get from them. And there aren't any easy ways to build it off the shelf, customize, and go customize it to your business. You're kind of stuck with using one of these vendors. And it's allowed me to take people and make them the administrators of the systems and really increase our internal expertise on those so that we have internal resources that give us better support than the vendor gave us directly. We've also really improved our security posture. And another thing that's happened is since we went to G Suite in 2010, we've grown by about 50%. And in that time, we've only had to add 2 people to IT to support it.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So what's one thing you learned that you'd pass on to others that are considering the switch to G Suite?
Oh, I wouldn't hesitate to do it, as one of the things I would tell them. I think G Suite delivers the highest value in the collaboration and communication space. But I can't overestimate or overemphasize how important it is to engage a partner to help with the migration. You're only going to do the migration itself one time. They've done it over and over again. Leverage their expertise. It's well worth the investment.
It's great advice, Mark. Thank you very much for sharing your story today, and thanks for being a G Suite customer.
Thank you for having me, David.
And thank you all for tuning in to Make It Work, Collaborate, Innovate, and Transform. Stay tuned for more content from Google Cloud thought leaders, experts, and customers. To learn more about G Suite, visit the video resource links just below the watch window. Thanks again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the event.
Whoa. Next Friday's pitch.
By tomorrow.